Hey everybody, Deathblade here. I am going to do a reaction to Scissor 7 Season 1 Episode 1 from Netflix. I've been hearing a little bit about this. I got some requests to do a reaction to it. I don't know anything about it. I think it has something to do with haircutting or scissors or something. Not totally sure. And it is in Chinese. That's all I know. So I'm going to react to it. Let's see what happens. For anybody who is new to my channel, I am a translator of Chinese fantasy novels. I've been studying Mandarin for about 10 years or so. I lived in China for 8 years, so that's my background. Okay, now I don't know anything about the show, so there could be plenty of plausible explanations for this. One thing I just have to say off the bat is I really don't like when I see samurai swords in Chinese settings. That's not to say that these kind of swords don't exist. There are actually Chinese swords that look very much like samurai swords, and even samurai swords are not an uncommon thing in China, but it just really kind of irks me when I see like martial arts Chinese settings that have a samurai sword. Okay, enough ranting.
真不愧是天下第一刺客。
对不起，有人出更高的价钱要我来杀你。
So right off the bat, I notice his accent is not standard Mandarin. I can't place it specifically something southern or maybe. Okay, so this is kind of a funny intro. Okay, they all have funny accents. Sorry to anybody out there who's Chinese that has this kind of accent, but it's not standard Mandarin. Sorry. So I noticed a couple times they've used the word 刺客, which means assassin, and they're translating it as killer, which I find kind of odd. Why don't they just translate it as assassin?
难道我的身世跟刺客有关？当然冇啦。
Okay, not to harp on this, but their Mandarin is very not standard. Which maybe, I don't know what the specific setting is supposed to be.
这个就是我的最新发明，百变黑马蛋。首先呢，你要在脑海里想象你要变成的样子，然后摔了这只黑马蛋，然后呢，你就会变成你想要变成的样子。那么多事情都是为了你呀。
I knew that it was going to be something like that. I just gotta point out that as somebody who really loves hot pot, that's actually a very relevant issue when eating hot pot.
为什么我没有过去的记忆？我以前到底是一个怎么样的人？
I like that there's something touching and emotional.
真是。
糟了，赶紧逃命啊！
Hold on, I gotta go back for a second really quick. I don't know why they used the profanity there. He didn't say anything even remotely profane in Chinese.
你会有刺客组织的令牌。
刺客组织令牌？难道他说的是那个东西？
By the way, this is a really common word that comes up in the novels I translate, Ling Pai. I usually translate it as medallion, so like a command medallion or an identity medallion, but token is a really common word as well. So identity or command token, usually it'll be something that shows that you are the representative of a person or an organization and bear authority on their part.
Hi, 靓女，要不要进来洗个头啊？
我们还有特殊服务啊！
败类。
Assuming that's the end? Yes. So, final thoughts. I guess there'll be more to reveal, perhaps. I think some of the other characters were talking standard Mandarin, and sorry to harp on that, but It's kind of like if you're watching if you speak English and then you're watching a show and then all of a sudden somebody has like a really strong Texas accent or a really strong Southern accent or something that's going to jump out at you. So it's not as though all Chinese people in the world speak the same kind of Mandarin, but I am definitely used to kind of the standard stuff, so those different accents jump out to me. Animation seems cool, story is interesting, not necessarily something that I would jump to watch a lot, but I'm kind of intrigued, so I'll probably check out a few episodes more. Please no spoilers in the comments, but if you do have thoughts, leave them in the comments below, and if you like the channel, like, subscribe, and check the links in the description. See you next time. Gautzla. And I'm back. So as you can see here, I'm actually done editing my reaction to season 1 episode 1. It's only about 5 or 6 minutes, so I decided I'm gonna go ahead and watch episode 2 and then add that on to the end to make a little bit longer of a video. By the way, since we're at the halfway point here, I do want to point out that if you're interested, you can go to my website, which is jeremybai.com. That's jeremybai.com. And I have links to all of the various things that I have translated in my career. There's quite a bit of stuff, so go ahead and check that out. And let's go back here and get started on Scissor 7 Season 1 Episode 2.
我在地上捡了张小卡片，就是扔在酒店房间门口那种，不是空姐、护士、学生妹，这个合适的刺客，我们可以派他去干掉汪星人的老大。
Okay, just really quickly. You know, now that I think about it, I'm not sure, is that really just a completely Chinese thing, or is it also from Western culture? Basically, in China, it is super common to find these little like business card things that are essentially advertising adult services. I mean, you'll see them on the streets, you'll see them everywhere. I used to teach kids, and I once had so kids would bring gifts to the teachers a lot. I once had a kid bring me one of those as a gift. Obviously, the kid didn't really know what it was, and the parents hadn't been looking, but
目标人物是汪星人首领。
没问题，天亮之前我一定要他的狗命。
我不是要他的狗命，只要刺。
Okay, sorry, let me go back and check one more time.
目标人物是汪星人首领。
没问题，天亮之前我一定要他的狗命。
我不是要他的狗命，只要刺瞎他的狗命。
So they used the F word there, and you know, it's not like I'm offended by it, but there wasn't anything even remotely close to the F word or anything like that in the Chinese. He just said "go ming." I mean, it's kind of insulting and bad and stuff, but definitely I don't think worthy of having an F word in there. And it's actually kind of funny because it's talking about a dog. So anyway, he used the word for dog. I don't know. I'm really not a fan of taking things that are not the level of like R-rated language and then elevating it to that language, even though that's not how it is in Chinese. But that's just my personal opinion on the translation.
好，刺下他的狗眼。
And just to point out, he repeated the joke just a moment ago. So basically what he said was, I will take his dog life. And she said, I don't want you to take his dog life, just his eyes. And then he said, okay, I will take his dog eyes. So I don't think it's worth the F word there.
谁派你来的？
作为一个专业的刺客，我是绝对不会。
So I mean, I guess there's no need to pause it. Well, I'll pause it. So I mean, I'll say this for the last time. I really don't understand why they chose to translate 刺客 as killer. It's like that's assassin. There are other words that actually mean killer. So it just keeps like sort of. Ugh.
你再不说我就。
作为一个专业的刺客，无论。
So stupid. Oh my god. So stupid. So, did you guys hear the aya aya there? That's such a Chinese sound. I usually translate the aya aya ayo into just, I transliterate it into English because it's such a typical Chinese sound.
从来你就看上别人，他就找我来刺瞎你的狗眼。
我没有看上别人。我离开他是因为。
科学研究表明。
Okay, I gotta check something. Sorry, going back here.
从来你就看上别人，他就找我来刺瞎你的狗眼。 我没有看上别人。我离。
So, playing in the background is the guitar instrumental version of a song called Ho Lai, which is actually one of my favorite Chinese songs. It's actually a cover of a Japanese song, if I remember correctly. The artist is Renee Liu, a Taiwanese singer, I'm pretty sure. I'll try to find a link and put it in the description or in the pinned comment because it's one of my favorite songs. It's one of those, broken-hearted love songs.
小猫咪多可爱！你说我们以后生多少小猫好呢？哦，不对，嫁鸡随鸡，嫁狗随狗，应该是生多少只小狗。
Okay, so she just said a wife should go along with her husband, but the funny thing is she uses a Chinese idiom, which literally means if you marry a dog, you go along with the dog. And what it means is that regardless of what kind of husband the woman marries, she needs to follow his lead or whatever. But in this case, it literally applies that she marries a dog, would have to go along with the dog. Okay, so
我离开他是为了他好。
你的狗故事真的好狗血啊！
So it's funny, more dog wordplay here because dramatic, the literal word for dramatic is called dog blood. So your story is very dog blood, means it's very melodramatic. Sorry, I don't know if you can hear that. The window's open and there's a plane flying by.
小咪咪，我当初离开你，是因为猫和狗是没办法生小孩的。其实我根本没有喜欢过别人。
So sorry to harp on these little tiny things, but technically he didn't say because cats and dogs can't breed. It means the same things, but he said because cats and dogs can't have children together. I think that's a little bit more touching than just saying can't breed. Okay, I think we're at the end again. So that's it for episode 2. This one seemed to not advance the major plot very much. I'm really interested in finding out what sword... I was about to say sword 17 because there's a character in my current translation project named sword 17. Why this guy, Scissor 7, is... what is his deal? Is he like the reincarnation of some famous assassin, transmigrated, lost his memory, traveled back in time? I don't know, but there's something about him I'm interested to know. Other than that, don't have very many major thoughts. I'm not particularly impressed with the subtitles. That said, the subtitles at least are not Chinglish, and they make a lot of sense when you're watching the show. So it's not as though they're completely inaccurate. There are some things missing and a few little teeny details that I think are left out. But overall, really good subtitles. I am liking the show. Animation is okay. The jokes are kind of funny. Some of them don't come across culturally, but I think the subtitles do kind of try to carry that a little bit. So anyway, that's it for this 2-part episode reacting to season 1, episode 1 and 2 of Scissor 7. What are your thoughts? If you have watched the whole show, please let me know what you think, but without spoilers. And if you like this channel, please like and subscribe. Check the links in the description below. That's it for this time. See you next time. Godzilla.